Okay, so I bet majority of you that saw the title of this video in thumbnail are like, oh my god, Chibi is finally talking about Gintama. He is finally talking about Gintama. Finally, a video focused on Gintama. So, I did this video because I just wanted to talk about Gintama because I was just sitting back watching it and, I just also finished Better Call Saul and I decided, you know what, I want to reward all of you Chibits because I've trolled you enough. I've trolled a lot of you enough when it came to not talking about Gintama, just putting it as a thumbnail and just slightly mention it. So I decided to make this video Gintama related. And I'm going to be honest here, this video is not really going to have any spoilers. I'm just going to say it right now, this video is not going to have spoilers. I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free as possible. I just want to do a recommendation, a Gintama recommendation, anime recommendation to be specific. So, let's get into this. So, let's talk about, because I know majority of you have been wanting me to talk about Gintama for quite a while, get my perspective on this series and how do I feel about it. So, right off the bat, I'm just going to push aside my reviewer sense real quick and just say something real quick. Gintama, honestly, it's the best thing I am currently watching weekly. In my opinion, it's the best thing I'm watching weekly when it comes to anime. Like, I'm not talking about just, weekly series coming out, each week. I'm just talking about anything I'm currently watching at this moment. Gintama is my favorite. It straight up is. It is that fun to watch. Now, I'm not going to reveal how far I'm in the series. I'm just going to say right now, I'm not going to reveal that, okay? Because I got to keep up that, I love trolling, okay? I'm sorry. I gotta be like Gin. I gotta be the good, a mega troll like Gin. But, here's the thing. With this series, I've enjoyed it a lot. I have been shocked by how much I have really enjoyed Gintama. Like, I've heard many people tell me that this series is very good, and I've seen in the past, I've seen images of Gintama being a parody type series, like it loves being a parody of other shonen, other series, and that right there is the hidden gem when it comes to Gintama, and it's very surprising, very, very surprising how Gintama is not as well known as it should be, because when you hear shonen, you don't hear Gintama, you hear Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z. You hear these iconic titles. That's what you hear when you think of shonen. But Gintama, it's a very, very good series and very original at that. Like, let me explain. Out of the countless hundreds of shonen I have read or watched, vice versa, doesn't matter which, Gintama does something that not a lot of series really do. Now, I have seen series like Gintama, but Gintama does it in a way that is just so brilliant. Like, it is so fucking brilliant. And what's even more shocking is that Gintama is an old series. Like, the series, when you first started, it looks like it's something from the early 2000s. Like, it looks very, very old. And it's shocking to see the level of quality in this old series. Even though it's old, there's some really good animation and great artwork and stuff like that. It's so surprising how Gintama doesn't get noticed like it should. It really should get noticed a lot more. And it saddens me, it really does. And I think I know one of the main reasons why Gintama isn't as well known as it should be. Let me explain. So, Gintama, it hides itself with this comedy. That's one of the main things that Gintama does. It has a lot of comedy. But, beyond the comedy, and majority of the time, almost about 70 to 80% of the time, if you actually look deep enough into certain episodes, there is a moral to the episode. A moral, some deep meaning, something like that. It's like, I was shocked when I was watching this series. I think it was around episode 20, like in the 20s. There was an episode that just went so deep. Like, it was so fucking deep. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, the meaning behind some of these episodes and speeches of Gintoki and other characters, it's just astounding. It is. And I can't believe some of these epic speeches in this series. And it has just so much fucking meaning. And it disappoints me how people do not sit down and have the time to actually watch this great freaking series or read this great series. And as I said, the main reason why I think this isn't well known is because of the way it hides its true self. Gintama is a series that has a lot of comedy, but it hides its deep meanings. And a lot of these deep meanings and this comedy on top of that is something only an anime watcher or manga reader would know if you're an experienced manga and anime watcher. Let me explain. Let me explain. Give me just a second. The reason why I say you have to be an experienced anime watcher or an experienced manga reader, like, read a lot of manga or watch a lot of anime, is because Gintama has just done nothing but spit out parodies since the very beginning of the series. Like, straight at the first episode. It spits out nothing but parodies. Like, from series, I was fucking shocked. Like, Vagabond, you had Vinland Saga, you had, let's see here, you had Naruto, One Piece, I know there's some Bleach. I mean, there's just so many freaking references from so many bizarre and random series. Series you would never expect to be parodied in a shonen at all. Like, there's unbelievable references. Like, so many different titles that are just so far out there, you would have thought anyone would mention these titles. And it's so shocking to see how Gintama adds all these parodies, and it does it really freaking well. Now, here is the main point when it comes to Gintama. If you don't understand a lot of these parodies, you most likely are not going to like this series. I'm just going to be just straight up honest. I will be straight up honest. It's an amazing series, but, as always, comedy is subjective, and also, if you don't understand the joke, most likely you're not going to like the said comedy. That's pretty much the big picture right there. And if you cannot understand the joke, the parody, then you will not like the comedy, and then, which in turn makes it to where you do not like Gintama. So, this is where I think the main reason why Gintama is not as loved as it should. Because a lot of the things that Gintama mentions is parodies from some very, very hidden anime or manga. Like, some of the series it parodies. Like, it's crazy. Like, you would really have to dive deep into the manga world or anime world to get some of these parodies. And thank God I've actually looked deep into some of these series, and I know a lot of these parodies. And so, to see this, that's one of the main reasons why I feel like Gintama is not as well known as it should, but I definitely recommend the series if you have seen a lot of anime and manga. I still recommend it even if you haven't. It's just so fucking funny. It really is, and that's one of the main shining points of the series. But, the greatest gem is the deep meaning. And that's pretty much what I want to say right there. Gintama has been a shockingly great series, and I've enjoyed my ride thus far so far from what I have seen of it. I cannot wait to actually finally catch up and be able to read the manga. I want to say it now, and I will review the chapters weekly, and I do plan on reviewing the episodes weekly too when it finally comes out, because this is just an amazing series. Like, it is one of my personal favorites to watch weekly, and I don't say that with ease. I don't. I really, really freaking don't. And so, yeah, if that doesn't tell you enough of how much I'm actually liking Gintama, then I don't know what else I can probably say. But, yeah. This is my recommendation on Gintama. Go give it a watch. Oh yes, before you give it a watch, actually let me state something real quick. Do not watch episode 1 or episode 2. Episode 1 or 2 are a special 1-hour episode, and it really is not important at all. Like, it's filler. It straight up is filler to celebrate Gintama having an anime. So I recommend starting at episode 3 if you want to get into Gintama, unless you want to see episode 1 or 2. But I mean, usually when it comes to Gintama 2, to get into the series, a lot of the time the first and second episode will turn off newcomers to the series, because it's so out there with the first and second episode, because it expects you to know the characters. Like, the first and second episode are meant for manga readers. That's what I'm assuming. So yeah, just gonna give my, 2 cents on that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you want more Gintama-related episodes? I might do arc reviews, depending on how certain arcs said arc is. I do know there's a couple serious arcs when it comes to Gintama. I might review some serious arcs. It just depends. You all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.